There we go. Ta-da. Discord's being a pain in my butt again. It's just showing me. And there's two of us. Oh well. Hey guys, how you doing? It's been a while. Well, technically been a week, but I haven't been around for technically 2 weeks. So how the heck are ya? Not gonna do a whole lot tonight. Might shoot through some articles. And before anyone asks, yes, I know there is that debate between Yaniv and Blair White. I am not sitting through any of that garbage again because I did watch it and I actually got sick. Well, I wanted to get sick. I was actually quite angry. Not with anything that Blair was doing. Blair was actually keeping Yaniv pinned to the carpet, which I thought was great. But just the bullshit that came out of Yaniv's mouth. Ugh. So, we are not going to cover that. I know that Cognitive Thought did. I was tempted to clip, but seeing how I'm not on good terms with Blair whatsoever, she actually, shockingly enough, she had both of my accounts muted. Both my, main YouTube account and my bot account, which was really weird because I've never commented on Blair's channel with my bot. So...
Honestly, who cares? She's a basic bitch that can't handle criticism.
Well, it wasn't that. The reason why I became a little bit concerned about it because Yaniv, and we've talked about it on this channel, again, link to donate is in the description. Yaniv brought up the Vancouver Rape Relief shelter and said how he practically lied. Said that they had turned away transgender people when in fact they don't. They actually reach out to other places that can provide services to them. They don't just shoo you away from the door. And so I was trying to post the donation link or whatnot, and because he was talking about it, oh well, they got defended because they didn't follow Canadian law, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, you mean your mentor Morgan Ogre did that? Yeah. So I was trying to post a link, but I found out I was muted, and then when you're muted, when you can't, or when someone is muted, when you can't pull up their account. And so I couldn't pull up Memory in Hollows, and I couldn't pull up Chambers in my Heart. So I'm going like, when the hell did Blair mute Memory in Hollow? I don't know, whatever. So yeah. Yes. Huh?
Blair White is... She takes a mile. Just don't give her an inch.
Oh, hey, Maddie. Been a while since I've seen you. Hey, Falcon. Yeah, so the person, or the guy we've been covering, Jessica Jonathan Yaniv, he had a debate with Blair White tonight, or earlier this afternoon, and Blair White pretty much called him to the carpet and all of his shit. So... which is great because Blair goes, you know what, you're not going to come back on my platform anymore. I'm done with you. Goodbye. And the stream, literally ended there. Blair read some super chats or whatnot, but the debate was pretty much over, and it's just okay, that was actually pretty great. But I had to tune it out. It just, I got angry and sick watching that because I was disgusting. Anyway, in regards to the Vic Mañana stuff, I have kind of an idea what's going on, but not so much anymore. I know another hit piece was put out this time from a Dallas, Texas reporter. Word on the street is that Lemoyne has media connections and went to some of his media buddies, and Nick Rakita tweeted at the lady that put out the article, and I love it. He goes, well, Nick sounds like a really good person. How's the talk with him? And she corrected a line or whatever, and she tried to get a comment from Nick, and I think Nick ignored her after that. So there's that. There was it amended motion for TCPA or something like that from Ty? Now, all of a sudden, Ty released a bunch of emails, and Lemoyne now wants to give Ty and Vic 2 extra weeks. what else is coming down the pipeline? Save James stuff is still quiet, although there is... let's see, the custody case is still in October, so nothing new to report there. It's kind of gone quiet. Otherwise than that, I can't think of anything else. I'm trying to catch up with the Vic Manana stuff, which is kind of crazy now, because the recent shooting that happened in El Paso, Texas, is somehow being tied to Greg Doucette because the shooter followed him. I'm not touching that shit with the 9-foot pole, thank you. I actually had somebody tag me in that mess, and then something about DC Douglas going off about it. It's just like, mute, not touching, please don't tag me in that stuff. I mean, no, no, I don't like it when it's done to other people or whatnot, and they try to rope wrong people. No, not even gonna go there. No. Muted both conversations.
I had an interesting conversation with someone saying that if you're going to color in a black character, then you have to make their skin tone grey, not brown. Interesting.
That
and makes no sense.
Okay.
In skin pigmentation.
So with that, because I'm going to be honest, I've never, and I'll explain why. I have never created a black character. I have a what you would consider maybe a Spanish character, Latino, mixed character, but I've never created an African American one or black one, simply because I don't know how to do it properly. And there are different skin tones. Like if you want to go like a really dark skin tone, then yeah, black, and you could talk about Nigeria, Africa, and then there's like, oh god, I don't want to sound racist.
Her argument was more on the fact that Wanda Sprocket, that Brooke uses non-grey colours to make Wanda Sprocket like a skin tone, and so that's racist, and also that Brooke is a white woman using a black character, and it's like
Ponder Sprocket's character, from what let's see, because
is not
black.
It's not black. Yeah,
it's.
I know.
I don't remember what her ethnicity was because she's been using that character for quite a few years now.
The ethnicity is American Indian, but yeah, she was saying like, oh, a white woman's using the a black character even though she wasn't black, and you should pigments grey for black characters to be more respectful. And apparently, and the reason I bring this up is apparently a lot of artists are going around telling other artists how to color in skin tone. Wrong information on purpose for social justice purposes.
That's when you go tell them to go fuck a cactus, because it's like, I'm going to use reference pictures, and no. Like, I have, this is like, actually, I'll show you my people of color, or look, because I try not, for me, like I said, there's characters I don't make, simply because I don't know how to write them, so I won't create them, like, at all. And God, even
I'm making a
Go ahead.
I'm making a character, and his ethnicity is Indian.
Which, if you don't mind me asking, is it the Native American Indian, or is it like Indian in Indonesia?
Ding Ding Indian.
Huh?
Not the American one, the Asian one.
Okay. Yeah, because there's a Go ahead.
No, it's fine. American Indians. American Indians, we just call them Native Americans here. It gets confusing if we start using Indian when a big like a big portion of our country is Indians, so it's like it gets confusing. So we just say Native Americans when it's
That's what I wanted.
Native Americans.
Yeah, no, and I understand. It just there's Native Americans here in the U.S. and then there's and you see even that term's confusing because it depends on who you're talking to, what the context is.
Indians from India, so Indians. Native Americans we call Native Americans because we have a large population of Indians here, and it's like it gets confusing if you just.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, can I have the full image in the new tab, you stupid. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm trying to show something and Facebook is being dumb. I've actually had a few issues with Facebook over the past few days. Like, it won't let me have my inbox. Okay, so I'll show you. This is one character. This is like when I first created the story, like years and years ago. Oh, it's not. There we go. Okay. So this is a villain I have in my story. Ethnicity, like all the lands in my book, they're not real. They're like made up. So, but like this would be, I don't know, he'd be probably Spanish, Latino. I know they're not the same, so don't spare me, please. But so yeah, this is like the closest I've gotten when it comes to people of color. So, and he's actually technically mixed ethnicities, or his parents are from two different countries. So yeah, those were mine.
Makes sense. I would say add a little more gradient to his skin tone, and he will look in skin tone wise.
Oh yeah, no, these are what I call flat color pictures. Like there's not a whole lot of shading, and these are old. This is what I have at the moment. So I need to update a lot of stuff, and I've gotten busy now, so it's like I don't have much time like to do anything.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But yeah. If you're trying to go ahead.
I'm just gonna say it's like it's like telling me my Steam shouldn't have some images on Discord.
Yeah.
It's like saying Blind off Steam shouldn't have tentacles for hands. It's like, why not?
So I'm covering the Ohio one tomorrow. Yeah. It's people trying to police, and they're trying to pass around that I'm gonna call it a nasty style. Like for me, I was like the realistic style more. And so it's like that weird one that's an inspiration. Or don't get me wrong, but a lot of the styles that are going around are like Steven Universe inspired. That is a well done show. Like the animation is fluid and they're not lazy. You can, but the quality, the proportions are weird. Go ahead.
They do fluid animation, and I will commend them on that. It's just they used to be lazy on the show. For instance, again, not keeping the characters consistent, and it would make sense if it was something like Adventure Time, because Adventure Time is supposed to be surreal. You know, it's supposed to be surreal. So you can say like the Jake not always being. It's just part of the surrealness because technically it's a surreal show, but Steven Universe isn't a surreal show. It's supposed to be a serious drama comedy show.
Yeah, no, and I've seen.
Why are they?
Go ahead.
Yeah. It's kind of an animator's job to keep an eye on models and stuff.
Oh yeah,
the fact that they're not keeping an eye on that means that they are doing something terribly wrong.
Well, something I've noticed, because I've heard if you watch, I'm not subscribed to them because I've seen the comparison videos of like the proportions or whatnot. Say, like, if you look at Peridot in some episodes, her, I guess you could say hair is, like, proportionate to her head, and then in some episodes, like, it's bigger and it looks freaking weird. So, from what I'm learning of these shows, is they don't always have the same animators. Like, if you watch the Round Table, or Oddstock Vox, go ahead.
Understandable not having the same animators, but the thing is that with character proportions, and
Right.
it's supposed to be a continuous thing. No matter what studio or people you've gone with, you still have to stay on character model. If it's not a surreal show, if it's a surreal show, I'm sure you can get away with it, but you're supposed to stay on character models anyway. Even if they've just been animated by different people, you still have to do that. For instance, Shield Hero. Shield Hero constantly got bounced around with studios to keep up with episode consistency, and they're still on model. They're still shows does this. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rising. The Rising of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's a beautifully animated show, and they're all on character model, and they've been studio like every fucking day.
Yeah.
Character model. The thing is, it's a big part of an animator's job to stay on model.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh no,
if
definitely.
Steam Universe can't even do that, then they are being either lazy or very unprofessional.
Yeah, and speaking of Shield Hero, quick, and then we'll move on to like some of the articles, including the 8chan stuff we got lined up. I was at Netflix. What? Because I have yet to even start watching Shield Hero, but they are starting to screw with the actual translation. From what I understand, that they're starting to censor. Like, there's a particular scene to where you have the main character, and then I know that there's a girl that starts to hang out with the main character. She kind of has like bear type ears, and she goes up and smacks the new leader of the original group that the main character was a part of, and starts talking like, well, you talk about you want to protect people, blah 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 blah. And in her dialogue, the word slave is supposed to be used in there, but it got censored out and put in with something else, and it a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people were saying it destroyed the context of the scene and like the deep meaning behind it.
Well, the thing is, one, I haven't got to that episode yet, and two, it's the thing about the Japanese. If you ever looked at early 2000s to 90s adaptations, like dubbed versions of anime, they're really, really bad, right? The Japanese were not happy about it. They were really pissed off.
Oh yeah.
So, quite recently, Japan has put a really tight hold on dubbing, and the fact that they've just botched that up, they pissed off the Japanese now, which is a bad thing because that means they're going to make contracts a lot tighter, or they might even work with a different company. They do not play around if you try and fuck up their script in any way, because they don't want the repeated happened in 80s, 90s, early 2000s dubbing.
Yeah, and Fun Animation is notorious because we've seen this stuff come out about Jamie Markey, how she wants to instill feminist talking points, and what was the show that she's really well known for? Dragon Maid, I think it's called. So she's and a lot of fans do not like her because she purposely screws up the dubbing to push some feminist agenda or some bullshit in the show. They're like, this has nothing to do with feminism. Why are you putting this shit in here? Stop.
The Japanese don't like that. There is so in all the contracts, what they do is no cutting, no intentionally screwing up the dubbing, which is a huge one, and placing sound effects. And the reason why I put that in is because if you know anything about Nausicaa and Studio Ghibli, when Disney tried to dub that, they cut a lot of the movie because they thought that audience wouldn't stick around long enough to watch the entire movie. Dumb. and also the fact that when they did the dubbing, they done it horribly, and they did it horribly, and they mistranslated everything and all that stuff. And Studio Ghibli was so pissed off that they renewed the contracts. They made the contracts to be even stricter. They even sent a katana, and I think this was supposed to be a joke, but they sent a katana to Disney with a nice little note saying,
"Don't." Somebody covered that. I forgot. I saw that video and I forgot who covered that situation, because I remember the screenshot of the katana, and it said just one word: "Don't."
Yeah, it was basically no cuts.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And I love Studio Ghibli because if you brush up their movies, they will give you a warning and it will be memorable.
It's like, do not script or shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, but the Japanese are really strict with dubbing these days and cutting. So if you intentionally dub or cut, it's supposed to be dubbed or cutted, Japanese will just go, I'm going to take this anime back from you now, fuck you, because they know how to contract.
Yeah.
So if this person is doing that, she can actually get sued by the Japanese. Because that's a breach of contract as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Moral of the story, don't fuck with the Japanese.
Yeah. Sorry, I went to go open one article that we're going to cover, and I get the headline for another article, which I'm going to bite my tongue, because some stuff I'm not surprised about it. Hey!
Yeah, I tend to watch sub with Shotaro because I can't stand the dub.
Yeah, I'm not covering any more freaking pedo shit. Oh, I'm good. Don't give me back my article. Okay, so let's get on with the articles. And for those of you who don't follow like the board stuff like at all, who haven't heard any about it, so after the El Paso, Texas shooting, which we will not be covering, there was a counteraction, or a side effect that took place. So 8chan, 8chan's been taken offline. Cloudflare finally kicked it. Even the founder of 8chan, for those of you who remember, like 4chan used to be the shit before it got neutered and bought out, and 8chan was created in its place, and it was a lot more, shall we say, aggressive with its approach to various things, and it pretty much continued the work of 4chan, just in a more aggressive manner, more thorough, if you will. So it has been offline for the past few days, and they're working to get it back up. But let me flip over to the article. But yeah, 8chan is down, which is a thing I never thought would happen, because that's 8chan. 4chan used to be like the internet, what I call like the internet boogeyman. Like, you didn't want them like sniffing around your shit, and God help you if they did. So 8chan pretty much took over that role, and we've talked about it here on my channel if you've been around for a while. You don't go and screw around on 8chan. You don't do other boards, all that shit. You just, if they catch onto your crap or whatnot, you sit down, shut the fuck up. That has always been what I tell people, or what I have told people. Go ahead.
With 8chan and 4chan, you do have to remember, they don't just go after anyone. They go after people who more or less deserve it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
They don't just go after any rando.
Right.
They go after people who deserve it usually. And also people are freaking out about 8chan. 8chan is down, or was down. Apparently it's back up. But
is it back up?
Well, that's what I heard anyway. I don't go on 8chan.
Well, I was checking it. What was it?
But
go ahead.
People tend to freak out in the past about this. for instance, the Cloudflare has actually abandoned them multiple times. It's been a thing. Like governments have always tried to take down 8chan and 4chan. Like bigger companies try to take them down. All sorts. They've always just come back. They never really properly take them down. They've always come back. If you look through their history, they're pretty hard bastards to get rid of.
That is true, and I'm looking right now, and it looks like that they are still. Let me look on their Twitter. Is all the way down. It's DNS. It's always DNS. So, yeah, it looks like it's still down. To find out why.
Well, if you know anything about,
go ahead.
To know about 4chan and 8chan, I do know the fact that if something big happens, 4chan and 8chan are probably gone to 4chan and have probably already made a plan by now. Keep in mind, these aren't people who just go, well, I'm defeated, I better just sit on my ass and, no, these people are relentless, and if you look through their track record, you know they're fucking relentless. You think they're just gonna sit down and be like, well, the bigger government people have just said no to me, so I better just be a good boy and behave. No. If you know anything about the behavioral patterns of 8chan and 4chan, they never go down.
Yeah, and I know that, and that's what the thing is, because even, I hate to freaking reference this article was at BuzzFeed, because that is the article, one of the articles we'll be reading, not because they're accurate with their information, but because they're also, no, you're not knowing my location, thank you very much. But because they're also covering this, and that is something that they're acknowledging, is a lot of places are like, well, if you cut off one site, they're just going to migrate to another one. Somebody brought up Reddit and their quote-unquote fun threads. I don't have a Reddit account anymore. I did at one point. But supposedly 8chan is now picked up by BitMitigate. Let's see. Oh, okay. Okay, so maybe not so much. I don't know when that site's going to be back up, but let's read through this article. I have, one on my phone as well. Let's actually mute this site just in case, because I don't want it to talk it to me at all. Okay, so this is from ustoday.com. Let's see. Corrections and clarifications. A previous version of the story misspelled the name. Oh, who gives a damn? The online message board 8chan, which has been limited to linked to 3 mass shootings in 2019, will be terminated. Cloudflare announced last Sunday night. Oh, so this was last week. Golly, I missed some shit. Just hours after the site's founder called for its end, which, for those of you who, I forgot what the founder's name is, but he created 8chan, after 4chan pretty much went in the trash with the new owners, and he's been calling for the site to get shut down, and I forgot when he left for 8chan altogether, passed it off to what they say is a military vet. His name is Jim Watkins, and there's some hate for the guy from what I saw on some Twitter threads. I'm not sure why, but he now owns 8chan or whatnot. So yeah, the owner was calling for the death of the site. No longer part of the site or have anything to do with the functions or whatever, but yeah. Let's see. Go ahead. Sound like you were going to say something.
I'm just thinking 4chan's doing right now. It's probably terrifying.
Yeah, I'm sure 8chan is pretty fucking pissed.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to do. You do not want to piss off 8chan.
No. Let's see. Cloudflare cut off services for 8chan at midnight. PDT CEO Matthew Prince said in a statement, though he noted that another network provided could bring 8chan back online. That's what happened in 2017 when Cloudflare booted the Daily Stormer, a neo-Nazi. Oh, it's not a neo-Nazi, you freaking idiots! Oh my god. The rationale is simple. They have proved themselves to be lawless, and that lawlessness has caused multiple tragic deaths. No, 8chan has not caused the death of anybody. You have people who go on there and create these awful threads, and I'm not saying all of 8chan is like this. But you have people, because the anonymity that 8chan provides, they go in there and create these horrible threads, and there's a group of people. But 8chan is not the cause of mass shootings. You guys are so retarded. Even if 8chan may not have violated the letter of the law in refusing to moderate their hate-filled community, which there is really no mods in 8chan, or they only mod certain things. But yeah, they're not a hug box, and if you screw up on there, they will freaking blast you for it. So that's why I tell a lot of people, if you don't know what the hell you're doing, don't post in there. I don't even post in there. No. They have created an environment that reveals in violating its spirit. Whatever the fuck that means. During media interviews early Sunday, 8chan founder Frederick Brennan called for this image board's end. Shut the site down, Brennan told the New York Times on Sunday. It's not doing the world any good. A lot of stuff isn't doing the world any good. It's a complete negative to everybody except the users that are there. And you know what?
Yeah,
it's
except for the fact that 8chan managed to get, what was it, over 400 active pedophiles arrested last year.
Oh yeah, they also had some.
They didn't do any good for the world. They just, got 400 active pedophiles. Yeah, that's not doing any good.
Didn't they also reveal some stuff going on in Iran? And if you guys think I'm bullshitting, no, this is what 4chan used to do before it got gutted. This is why people were scared of 4chan, because you had people who were ex-military, ex-lawyers, you had all kinds of people all over the 4chan boards, and then they all went to 8chan. No, they have hands in politics. If they want to make something move, they're like a non. They'll do stuff if they want to. Go ahead.
For fuck's sake, they found Shia LaBeouf using wind direction and the fucking stars in a single picture.
Mm-hmm. Even tracked him inside of an art museum. Which is funny shit. Yeah. Sorry, my nose. But anyway, so yeah, all kinds of people dwell on 8chan. And they actually had a hand in exposing weapon plants in Iran. I think this was also last year. It was actually pretty freaking scary because they got the places bombed. I'm not kidding. It used to be said that 4chan would put the CIA to shame and the FBI. 4chan don't do that no more. That's 8chan. This is legit. This is why a lot of mainstream media, this is why a lot of politicians do not like these image boards, because the ones that get serious, like 8chan, Kiwi Farms kind of ekes here and out, but no, these guys, when they want to fuck somebody's day up, they go out of their way to do so. So, this is why we don't mess with them, at all. And shutting down the site is... Go ahead.
Was messed with, and then 8chan existed, and then 8chan's being messed with.
All hell's about ready to break loose.
They're just gonna make another chan.
Mm-hmm. Or they're gonna go underground, and because there was I found on one of the threads, they didn't mention any websites, and I don't think it's on the dark web, but someone was talking about how there's other chan boards that the quote-unquote normies don't know about. Which I don't doubt. They probably have to hide a lot of stuff. Here's the thing about 8chan, and I'll give you an example. And I just reiterate, I'm not for doxing, okay? But I'll give you an example. If you guys remember what happened with the Kumite stuff, everybody that was a part of that shit just about got doxed. Vamp, Tonka, Andy, a few others, Geek Zulu. So,
Yeah, it's because they fucking challenged them, and that was really dumb.
Oh yeah, no. Some of them were kind of stupid and tried to derail the boards. They were fucking retarded. But my point is bringing that up is somebody kind of made a deal to try to get Vamp stocks removed from 8chan. This is what 8chan did because the temporary thread was shown and then it was put back on the main thread. So all of Vamp's stuff was put into this temporary thread and removed completely off of the main board. It sat on that temporary thread for a few days, just enough time for people to shut the hell up and forget about it, and then it got moved right back on the main board. So this is what 8chan does. They take all their stuff, they will hoard it in another place, and they will lie low till everybody shuts the fuck up about it, and they will put it back without anybody realizing, unless you go digging for it. So because I was following the internet blood sports thread when the stuff with the Kumite was imploding, and so this is what they do. Right now they're hoarding all of their shit until they can get back online. And once they get back online, everything's going to be back up. This is how they work. What was it? One of the admins, his handle's like Cody's Monkeys or something. There's multiple servers these guys work off of. They're not fucking stupid. So it's like trying to take down Pirate Bay. Was it FBI tried to take down Pirate Bay quite a few years back, and multiple servers, even though they arrested 3 of the founders in like different parts of the world, Pirate Bay is still up and running. Why? Because it has multiple servers. They don't just put all their eggs in one basket like, okay, this one's down, go to this one. They're not stupid. You're dealing with ex-military, you're dealing with ex-lawyers, people who used to work with the law, people who have worked in the military, computers, all over. These are not like your internet trolls that you're dealing with. Yeah, some of them are, but then again, a lot of them aren't. Freaking dumb shits, man.
Here's why I have a bit of respect for 8chan and 4chan. Ago, I had a problem with a certain someone, and this was before I started doing YouTube. I had a problem with a certain someone. Say 4chan, no, this was 4chan at the time, helped me out to the point where I no longer have a problem with this person anymore.
Oh.
So them saying that they don't do any good is absolute bullshit.
Well, I can vouch for 4chan before it completely got gutted because people don't believe me because I try to tell people like failure. If you remember the Diario 5 stuff, there's a reason why, like, when the Kekistani killer, that stuff happened, you had a bunch of people try to purge their Kekistani stuff, like their flags and whatnot, and like, oh, well, this is stupid, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, you guys all did it, including you, Sargon. Because he tried to turn around and purge a bunch of shit, too. Anyway, I did not purge anything because before 4chan got gutted and neutered and stripped of all its threads, the reason why, with the Daddy 05 situation, the reason why we were able to call CPS to begin with before 4chan got gutted, 4chan went out of their fucking way because when you piss off the boards, because the custody battle pissed off a lot of people, 4chan went out of the way to get any and all photos they could from their videos, their Facebook, and they actually pinpoint where the Martins lived. Like, hey guys, whoops, I just threw something out of my hand. And it's like, hey guys, here's our address, go call CPS. Go let them know, this is where they are. And a lot of us did, because a lot of us tried to call CPS at first. It goes, hey, you need a legit address. Oh shit, 4chan is like, hey, we got it, here you go. So that is why I keep the 4chan flower. That is why I will always have the 4chan flower, because it's a memory of what they did before they were gutted, and I still have my Kakistani stuff up. I'm not going to get rid of it. I owe 4chan, well, I don't owe them particularly, it wasn't my kids, but their work was what helped launch a lot of our efforts in reporting the Martins and getting those kids the fuck away from them. At least 2 of them. The other 2, well, the only other 3 kind of fell through the cracks because there's a situation with the boy's biological father. So, but regardless, I'm not getting rid of my 4chan flower ever. So.
Well, that's the thing. Like, what people don't seem to understand is that 8chan and 4chan can be absolutely terrifying. They do help out people a lot. for instance, like people have a fear of 4chan and 8chan, but the thing is, if you ask for help, they will help you. Like, they will help you if you give them the evidence that the thing you need help for is real.
Yeah.
They will help you.
Let's see. Let me touch base with it. Go ahead.
Most policemen wouldn't help you on the level 4chan helps you. It's so sorry, 8chan would help you with. So it's like, don't do any good is an absolute lie.
Yeah, let me touch base here with the chat just a little bit. In regards to 8chan, the founder pulling it off, they cited their allowing of the El Paso shooter manifesto as well as Christchurch manifesto and others. Yeah, no, they've always been able, when it comes to these shootings, I did notice that too, Maddie, is they've always found the manifestos on the 8chan boards, shockingly enough. He posted his manifesto on their 20 minutes before the shooting. So 20 minutes, so it wasn't something that was kind of brewing, it was just something kind of posted last minute. Let's see, what else did I miss? Yeah, I called BS on the dub voice actors not knowing the full intent. Vic Mañana, Johnny, Young Botch, and probably other voices know, but Jamie and Monica both seem they have agenda. Yeah, no, and they do. That's why they insert their feminist bullshit into the shows, and it ruins them. Eric Renner says, Mike Dunford, a.k.a. Quest Authority on Twitter, is claiming that Vic will not get his career back just because he sued Monica Rial, Jamie Murky, and Funimation and other kick people, which is total and utter bullshit, because if anything, what this lawsuit is exposed the entire voice acting industry in the anime community, and it has proven just how much of a shitbag a lot of these people are, Fun Animation included. And if I do say so myself, ever since this lawsuit broke out, Fun Animation has seemed to be caught doing multiple things, scummy things with their customers. Now, these are unconfirmed, because I actually had a ranger pull me aside and show me some stuff. It's unconfirmed that Funimation screwed up their own button, because going from your own webpage, if you know how to code, you could change the webpage from your end, take a screenshot of that, and go, oh, hey, Funimation wouldn't let me do this. There was something else, too, about, like, their payments or whatnot, or jacking up the prices. That is also unconfirmed. I have no way of confirming it. I've never been subscribed to Funimation, never will at this point. The hell with them. And then, go ahead.
I will like to say that the Western anime community, which is Aki Dearest and the Anime Man, it's a little weird that they stopped doing business with Funimation as soon as the Vic Mignogna thing happened.
I'm not familiar with
a lot of the thing is, because Funimation was getting exposed for a lot of stuff. Aki Dearest and the Anime Man, who are very big in the anime community, with them almost completely.
No, I don't blame them. It's just because you have a bunch of people going after one guy for whatever freaking reason, and then I'm hearing reports come out of how sexually charged that company is altogether. Like, you've seen the photo, and I know they're jokes, but I'm sorry, I wouldn't do this. I don't do this shit with my coworkers. I don't care how close you are with them. You had a few of them laying naked in bed with each other, posing for a photo. I said this in an interview with the DNA Crows about Johnny Strait or Sunny Strait, the voice of really Krillin. Like, the shit he does with his fans, it's consensual, but dudes would have to be on a pike if that were my husband, because I hear this guy's married, and it's just like, he'd be a dead man walking. Who was it? You have Sabat doing similar stuff. You have Shin Shemmel. You have Monica Rial. Jay Metello was caught freaking sucking the face of minors, and with all of her screeching, it's just like, yeah, these people are pretty much projecting at this point, and the Lemoyne and Casey are freaking jokes. I mean, the freaking garbage. I love it how it keeps trying to demonize Nick, try to demonize the GoFundMe, demonize the the Vic fans, and like in one of the court documentations, he puts, oh well, Monica and Jamie are like good, and everyone else is evil. Like there's a legit line in there about that. Just like, you are fucking crazy. This entire thing is a mess. It really is. And with the depositions, I stopped clipping them because it was the same bullshit over and over and over again, and everything, it's just starting to blur together because it's the same shit said by different people. So, oh my god, it is a nut house. But yeah, no, I don't think Vic is going to, like, yeah, no, he has suffered losses. He has suffered interactions or lack of interactions with fans because cons have dropped him left, right, and center. Like Liberty Con dropped him even though he was invited and promised to attend. So he had his own signing venue, or is going to, in somewhere in New York City. But so I don't think he's gonna go away. I really don't. They want him to, but I don't think he will. I think he will recover to a point. It's not going to be anywhere near to what he had, because now the environment's different and a lot of bullshit's been exposed. So, and then a lot of the... Go ahead.
I also heard that the Japanese companies have caught wind of this and pull business from Funimation.
I have not read about that, but I will say when it came to HawaiiCon, you literally had 3 to 4 different voices just of Goku alone attending HawaiiCon. You had the Spanish version, you had the Japanese version, you had the original version, and then you had Sean Schimmel. And then when stuff broke out, they suddenly... I forgot his name. I do apologize, guys. I don't know names. The Japanese voice actor for Goku. No, it was Vegeta. I'm sorry. It was Vegeta. 4 to 5 different versions of Vegeta. That's what it was. Spanish, Japanese, the original one, the one that had the line, it's over 9,000, that's impossible, and then you had Chris Sabat. So right before HawaiiCon was set to go on, the Japanese version of Vegeta got pulled. He got yanked by his superiors. They go, no, you're not attending this, announce your departure from this immediately. And it's just like, and that's when the Prince Vegeta tour got changed to, what was it, the Otakron or something recording tour. The Prince Vegeta theme was dumped. I mean, Japan is fucking pissed. They start pulling a lot of shit.
Yeah, no, they are. Yeah, they are super pissed. Like, about Japanese society, if things are fucking up, you do it behind closed doors. You deal with it behind closed doors. You find out what's going on, and Japan really doesn't like false sexual assault accusations.
Oh yeah.
They fucking, I mean, for fuck's sake, they fucking made an anime series where the first half of the premise is literally about a guy being falsely accused of being a rapist.
Yeah, no, and that's a lot of people try to get that anime tossed out the door. So I'm like, and me and my husband have yet to sit down and watch it, but it's just like, holy crap, I want to watch this now simply because of the storyline, because this is a real thing. Let's see.
I would say it's actually kind of a shame people only initially watch it for the rape station, because there is a lot of stuff. There's a lot more messages in the anime than just false rape accusations are bad and okay.
Oh no, definitely.
There's a lot of messages in here. Like, for instance, spoilers if anyone cares. Hiro, he has a slave, like he owns a slave, but everyone's treating it like it's an abhorrent thing. Wait a minute, but the king is completely fine with slavery because it's completely legal, but they're still saying, oh, it's abhorrent. and she's obviously not being abused, and she's actually, being treated well. And if she wasn't bought as a slave, she would have probably died in the cage and all that stuff. But no, the king and everyone's going, "Oh, it's abhorrent, it's disgusting." King, and you could make it illegal, but you don't. Morally ambiguous things like that, and it's like, well, what is the right thing to do? What is, there's really cool messages in that, and it's kind of a shame people only go with the rape message, and it's like,
well, because that's the most well, no, I hear what you're saying, but that's what caught a lot of people's attention. Like, oh, I'm sure there's a lot of good messages in there and a lot of scenarios, but here's the thing: you don't see a lot of male characters. Actually, I think this is the first one I've personally heard of that has really focused on like someone's life being completely fucked over from a false rape allegation, because a lot of young men can actually relate to that. And like I will say, there's only, this does not count, but I started to sit down and watch Lupin the Third a little bit, and there's like a scenario where him and another thief are both busted and caught, and it's a female. It's one of his arch rivals or whatnot, and she strips down in front of Lupin, and then she starts screaming for the guards that Lupin did something to her, and he just goes like, "Wait a minute, what?" She gets carted off into a different area, and he pretty much gets like a fist on the gut. So that's the only other like anime I could think of. But with Shield Hero, you have something to where that's what catapults his entire quest change, his entire life change, and completely throws him out of the group of heroes he was supposed to be a part of. A lot of young men can relate to that, going like, "Oh my god, this is the character for me." And so that's why a lot of people latched on to it, because it's like, holy fuck, they actually wrote about something like this.
I completely understand why they latched onto it, sort of thing. It is a big thing. It's just, like for instance, Anime Abandoned. I saw Anime Abandoned where he talked about Shield Hero. Here's the thing: is he's kind of a little bit SJW, but even he said that this is a great message for young men and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even people who are on the SJW side say that it's a good fucking anime.
Yeah, they're not. Go ahead.
Yeah, so no, I'm just saying, like, people aren't as delusional as the media's trying to make out lately.
Here's the thing: you can touch upon controversial subjects, because this is true. You had a lot of old movies do it. I know we kind of derailed from the 8chan stuff. It's all right. This is just kind of like a catch up, whatever stream. Oh, here's a few articles. But a lot of stories and movies in the past and media have touched upon controversial subjects and used them as catapults, but they haven't put, "Oh, I'm a special person because this happened to me." It's like, hey, this is what shaped the character. Here's how the character's coping. Here's how the character is learning to see themselves again after said event or after this happened to them. So that sort of thing. But because of the mainstream media and all this PC culture garbage and all this other bullshit, they don't know how to do that anymore. Like, and I bring up the show constantly. Like, I'll compare two shows. Steven Universe deals. Go ahead.
I would say they know how to do it. It's just they ignore it.
It's yes and no. They do it to a point to where they try to spare everyone's feelings, if that makes sense. It's like, oh, hey, we're going to put this character in the forefront, and this is why we're putting this character in the forefront. Like, she was nicknamed the Latina version of Captain America. I think her last name was Chavez. I forget her first name. But she was catapulted to be a different version of Captain America. Oh, she's a woman, she's strong, blah, blah, blah. But she failed because that's all that they really put to her, because, oh, well, she's a woman in charge, or she's a strong woman, but that was about it.
Here's the thing about the Japanese: they know how to write a strong woman. Just look at any Studio Ghibli film.
Oh,
fucking
yes.
house moving castle is a strong ass woman.
Oh, yeah. I actually...
And then they go like, oh, there's no women, there's no strong females in any media, and it's like,
Princess Mononoke. There's actually 3 of them. There's the Wolf Mother, there's the princess, and then there's, I don't know if she's called I forgot what her name is, but she's like the governor, like the leader of the town that moves in, and she's the one that's leading the charge against the force to try to, like, they all have a goal, and it's not like either of them are like really the villain. Like the woman who's in charge of, she's a bomb expert, and she's trying, huh?
yeah, Lapta Castle in the Sky, Sophie from House Moving Castle, Nausicaa from Valley of the Wind.
I started watching that, like, with my older sister. Like, I came to the end of that, so I actually need to sit down and watch that in full. And then you
read them. I would say if you're gonna do Nausicaa, read the mangas first, then watch the movie. You have an entirely new appreciation for it.
Oh, there's a manga? I didn't know that.
3 huge manga books, but they are fucking worth it, and you have this entirely new appreciation for the movie.
Who else? Millennium Actress, I think, is by Satoshi Kon. He passed away some years ago. For those of you who don't know what Millennium Actress is, see if I can explain it, because it's a little bit trippy, and you have to pay attention to, like, all of it to kind of, like, decipher what's going on. So you have someone who is an actress, a young woman who's an actress, and in her younger days, she met this young man, and I believe, if I remember correctly, he gives her, like, some sort of key, and then he disappears, and, like, throughout her life, she keeps, like, bumping into him, like, she's trying to find him, and even though she has a fiance, like, I don't want to say if they're romantic feelings for him, but, like, even as she's acting through her movies or whatnot, she manages to bump into him. She goes to, like, these weird dream sequences to where she sees him or whatnot. It's kind of a trippy movie, but it's also kind of cool. There was one scene in there, and I would have to sit down and watch the damn movie again. I think I have it on DVD. I don't know. There's one scene in there where it has to do, like, a witch and a bell. Like, there's, like, it's so weird. But she's connected. I forget how. But, yeah, no, that's another strong female character because she's trying to decipher what's going on, what's real, what's reality. She just knows she's following this man around that gave her a key when she was younger. That's about it.
Perfect Blue.
Huh?
Perfect Blue. About a woman who has to deal with harassment and go after a stalker, and she was slowly losing her mind, and then she finally got her mind back at the end. There was Paprika.
I actually have that. I have that DVD in my bookshelf. I'm staring at it right now, and I have not fucking watched it yet. I have not watched it yet. I read the back, but I have not watched it.
It's a movie you kind of have to pay attention to, otherwise you're going to be horribly lost.
Yeah.
Paprika, that's another one. Fucking. That's the thing, the Japanese know how to make strong characters, and they don't have to stick politics in it to make them strong characters.
I have another one, and you might call it a little bit screechy, but if you guys are familiar with Xenosaga, there's both a video game series, which I think I have all the games. Of course, I need to sit and play them, but there's also an anime. There's a DVD, because I found this at a shop when I used to live in Chicago, where it goes through the first 2 games. It kind of changes it up a little bit. Like, if you guys remember, the characters there's a general, and then there's another character similar to Cosmos. Cosmos is a project that Shion, I probably just lost a lot of you, was working on. But in the game, the general stays alive, but in the anime, he dies, and they bring on, like, this crazy dude that originally died in the game. I don't know. But that's another good example of a strong character.
Nanny Weatherwax from the Terry Pratchett series.
From the
Nanny
what?
Weatherwax. Nanny Weatherwax. So they're the witches from Discworld. Strong characters. All women, two of them old women. They are very strong characters. Any woman from the Terry Pratchett books, strong character.
Yeah, and
sort of thing. And even in the adaptations, they are depicted as very strong female characters.
What's another one? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's no female characters is kind of an insult to Miyazaki and Terry Pratchett, which is terrible because our SJWs love those movies and adaptations.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli also released another. We'll get back to the 8chan stuff here in a minute, but released another video that I actually sat and watched. Is it? I know what it's about, but I forgot the title of it. Is it The Witch and the Flower?
Mary's Witch and the Flower. It's Studio Ponyoc, but they have like the same animators and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's an adaptation from a book from the 1970s.
Oh.
Broomsticks. And fun thing is when Mary's Witch's Flower came out, which is an adaptation from Little Broomsticks, fans came out and said, "Oh, it's just a Harry Potter ripoff."
No, that's not a Harry Potter. No, it's not.
Not a Harry Potter ripoff. And you don't even have to give much of an argument. Just say, from a book that was written from the 1970s. Are you saying that the author from the 1970s just stole the idea of Harry Potter and then put it in her book?
Yeah, and like the plots are
years before Harry Potter.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, the plot is completely different. Harry Potter, you have Voldemort to where he's wanting to eventually wipe out all the non-wizards or the muggles, as they call them. And then with The Witch and the Flower, you have, again, spoilers, you have the head instructor and her scientist trying to find what's called the nightshade flower. And they are trying to turn humans into witches. And they kidnap the main protagonist's brother. I don't want to like spoil the story. It's actually really interesting. But her brother gets like snapped up by the head mistress, and they start experimenting on him with this nightshade flower that they get a hold of, and these things only bloom like once every 100 years or so. So yeah, no, it's completely different plot lines. What the fuck?
Completely different story, but Harry Potter fans don't fucking understand that. And I will also like to say, Harry Potter, I know people have a lot of nostalgia for it, but go back and read the stories without nostalgia bias. Wow, this is a very incoherent story and very stupid. I didn't grow up with Harry Potter, so when I read it as an adult, I was just going like, this is dumb. Movies were worse.
Well, I will say, because I wasn't allowed to read the books growing up, I did like the movies, and I will actually say, because I told this to my husband, because this was an interesting note. Anytime, even The Legend of Zelda does this, anytime you see a character, like, they're like a sorceress or a witch, even The Legend of Zelda, this is the Akira Himekawa comic books of The Legend of Zelda, they will do some sort of reference to actual witchcraft, whether it be the pentagram or something like that. With Harry Potter, and I was paying attention because I enjoyed the movies, there was no reference whatsoever, and I kind of leaned over to my husband. I'm like, I'm actually kind of shocked that none of that stuff was put in there. I don't...
Like, that's the thing, I didn't grow up with Harry Potter at all, so when I
wasn't allowed to, so... So I didn't.
Same. But, as far as an adult, it was just everyone's like, oh, it's so good, you're so good, I can't believe you haven't seen it, I can't believe you haven't watched it. So I I basically watched the movie. I watched some of the movies first, and I hated the movies. I was like, okay, maybe the book is better. Then I read the books.
Yeah.
Those nostalgia glasses are on a little too tight, I think.
Yeah, and but I don't know. There's some old stories that I miss, and I miss them circulating, because what they have out now, I'm scared to touch new media because of all the PC garbage. Yeah, no, we're not reading that because no. But anyway, let's get back to the 8chan thing. Real quick, like I said, they're still down. Let's see. Let me pull this up because the website I mentioned earlier, what is this called? Because I just found this on my phone. Go away, thank you. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is what I found on my phone. Not exactly the article that I had up, but whatever. Okay, so the founder of the Betamite, whatever it's called, I guess he released a statement. Let's see. 8chan website again in the spotlight after the shooting in El Paso. Would you get the hell out of here? Oh, has switched registers. It already got booted off of its DDoS provider Cloudflare. Now, perhaps to avoid any pressure from its domain registrar, it moved to Epic for registrar services. Epic also offers DDoS. Epic accepted the domains that other registrars have kicked out, including gab.com. Wait, what? Epic has accepted domains that other registrars have... Oh, okay, so they accepted... Okay. But they also have Gab now. The registrar CEO, Rob Monster, said that it did not solicit 8chan's business and is evaluating whether to offer it DDoS mitigation. Here's Monster's full statement about 8chan.net moving to the registrar. Freedom of speech and expression are fundamental rights in a free society. We enter into a slippery slope where we start to limit speech that makes us uncomfortable. The censorship we've seen across major social media platforms as of late has created a vacuum. Our services fill the ever-growing need for a neutral service provider that will not terminate accounts based on arbitrary reasoning or political pressure. Well, that's good to know. Our philosophy is if the customer is not breaking the law, they are protected under our umbrella of services. Specific to any of the Chan sites, Epic did not solicit this business. We have not made a definitive decision about whether to provide DDoS mitigation or content delivery services for them. We will evaluate this in the coming days. From what little we know so far, the Chans are not lawless and do have moderation. That they do. Especially in regards to DMCA and content which is illegal. Yeah, you won't find like the dark web stuff on 8chan. There's no fucking way. They get rid of that crap quick. In the United States, ultimately, we believe that the best disinfectant for darkness, however, this must absolutely occur within the bounds of the law. So, yeah, 8chan is not part of the dark web. They don't have any of that shit on there. I've never seen any of that crap on there. Yeah, okay. You can tell when people were trying to derail the boards because they'll post, like, gross shit or really disturbing Sonic fan art. I'm not going to go into that because I actually got... When Tonka, Vamp, and a few of those, whoever from the Kumite crowd was messing at the boards at the time, it scared me away from the boards for a week because of the shit they were posting on there to get, like, these guys to bugger off. Ugh. But otherwise than that, no, you don't find any illegal shit on there.
Of course you don't. Like,
so...
That's just, you know, like, Sorry.
No, you're fine. And speaking of which, while we're on the subject of media and censoring, this is also going around too. And I have a few thoughts because I talked about this in regards to glorifying certain things or stigmatizing or making people jaded to certain topics. So now both the right and the left, President Trump is calling for red flag laws, and they're trying to tie... I feel like we're in the early 2000s again. They're trying to tie, quote-unquote, violent video games to the mass shooting. And I will say this, that there are certain, because I said this on my video response to extra credits when they put out that dumb video in regards to Nazis, and the video was so cringe. That there are boundaries, and a lot of the time people do not want to keep those boundaries, and there are certain things that people have become jaded to because they're in the media so much. But at the same time, I am not for a complete the term I used to use, especially when it came to anime being censored, was whitewashing. I guess that's not appropriate anymore, but just pretty much censoring, trying to cut out anything that was deemed offensive. I'm not for putting everybody in a hug box either. So there is a balance, but now you have people who want one extreme or the other. How much violence is too much? Like, let's compare games, Mortal Kombat, which we know is graphic. They literally show, like, the bones snapping or whatnot when you... Or the first-person shooter games can get graphic. Compare that to games like The Legend of Zelda. When you strike an enemy down, there's no blood, there's no nothing. Wind Waker takes it a step further and does like the cartoony, almost like slapstick humor with some of the boss fights. But so, like, what violence are you going to allow? Are you talking about the gory graphic stuff, which makes it a little bit too realistic? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, whenever I play Binding of Isaac, I just want to like go out and shoot a fucking school, like Binding of Isaac, and I just want to like rape hookers and fucking shoot up the school, man. Like, video games mess you up.
There's, and I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, I'm okay with every piece of media that's out there. No, I do think there are certain things that should not be, like, out there, period, because it gives people ideas. Like, I talked about it, I think, in the same video to where I had to stop watching cop shows. I used to watch, like, SVU or Special Units, NCIS, there's a few others. And I had to stop watching them because they started to get, like, really fucking detailed with shit, and they went to some places, is like, you're now giving people ideas on how to do shit. This is actually starting to, like, fuck with my head. Not, like, make me want to do anything, but it started to become, like, depressing, and it's just like, yeah, I'm kind of done watching this shit. So, you sound like you wanted to say something there.
No, I'm just saying with crime shows, actually, how they actually find out about crime and all that stuff, like, fancy machines and all that stuff, most of the time, no. And on the murders and kidnappings and all that stuff, they're usually really over-exaggerated, and like the majority of people just don't fucking do that because look at it as a critical view, not as an entertainment status. Half the shit these murderers and kidnappers do in these shows, and that's smart, is actually pretty dumb.
Well, there have been situations, like, we do have histories of mass murderers. I mean, freaking UK has it. Like, you guys legit had someone called Jack the Ripper. Like, there are legend and stories, but you guys legit have someone called Jack the Ripper, and he was never caught.
Yeah, that's because it was multiple people. It wasn't just one person.
Yeah. But, I mean, you get my point. So, I mean,
Jack the Ripper was... Yeah, but Jack the Ripper was, like, over... almost 2 centuries ago.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
Technology has massively improved since then.
Oh, no, definitely. There's still a lot of cases that are unsolved. I'm like, we have, here in the US, I don't know about the UK if you guys have these type of shows, but here in the US, we have shows completely dedicated to cold cases that have never gotten solved. Or they do reenactment of, like, some of the most horrible cases for whatever fucking reason, and they sit down like everybody involved in that case, and they do have like they react the entire thing for the audience to see. And in my mind, I don't mind a documentary on certain stuff, but just like why not all of this needs to be shown, you know?
New Tricks. New Tricks. It's a TV show, and it's all about cold cases being reopened and done. It's three old guys and a woman. It's three old guys and a middle-aged woman doing these cold cases and solving them. It was a really popular show, and then they replaced all the characters in them, and then it became a non-popular show anymore. But it was a good show.
Yeah. So like
The
that's
thing is, we do have a cold case department sort of thing. We do actually have that. It's just most of the time our it's shut, and we don't have a lot of cold cases.
Oh, we have a lot of, well, at least going off the TV, I don't know how many are documented in every freaking PD we have here in the States. But yeah, there's a lot of cold cases and stuff that never get solved because the leads go dead and things like that. But going back to like these red flag laws and things like that, people now want to go after video games and like cut down the violence. It's like, well, are you gonna cut down on the movies? Are you gonna cut down on the freaking music? Don't get me started on fucking rap. Oh, that's a whole other ball of worms. And just living in Chicago and having to listen to a lot of that shit. Ooh, ooh. But and I know not all rap is like that, but a good portion of it is. It's like, so how far are you guys gonna take this? Because if you do a crackdown in one area, you guys are gonna have to do crackdowns in other places, because violence isn't just glorified in video games. You have it in books, you have it in music, you have it in movies, you have it in TV shows. Go ahead.
Why they're glorified is the fact that our has evolved to the point where the people every day. We don't go in wars all the time. We don't, we've evolved to the point where we're not at each other's throats every 24/7. So everybody gets their frustrations out on Twitter. Would have over-glorified murder and rape and all this stuff. You can't experience that in real life anymore. Our natural urges some way, and that's a healthy way of doing it, is to just do it in fantasy, not reality. It's like that's why everyone has a massive interest in torture. We're not going to do that in reality. We don't have the guts to do it in reality, and we know it's wrong, and we know there'll be consequences. But there's a lot of torture porn out there.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about movies. I'm not talking about actual. But there's a lot of torture porn out there, and people like torture porn because we're not really going to torture someone. You don't want to actually torture someone. Don't want to actually hurt someone, and it's like whatever. It's a movie. No one's getting hurt.
Well, here's the thing. Because let's use the topic of porn, shall we? Because I've talked about this on my channel as well, and studies have shown this, and I've had conversations. Huh?
I wasn't talking about actual porn, but okay.
No. Well, torture porn. It's porn. It's still porn. There's different themed porns. So a lot of people, torture porn, crushing porn, whatever type of porn it is. A lot of people use the concept or use the argument, oh, it's fake. Well, no shit, it's fucking fake, but your brain's going to register as real. You won't want to know why, because it gets you off. There's a gratification to it. And some people will go out and mimic that shit, and people have. I'll give you an example. This is relating...
Mimic that. Yeah, and people who mimic that shit are dumb fucking morons.
No, they are.
And that props exist.
No, they are. But here's the thing. Like, especially in America, because they're touching upon... People have been saying this, and even some of the Parkland shooting figureheads, like David, what is his name? It's not David Hogg. That little shit's still running his mouth. It's his buddy that turned around and said, you know what I said was wrong. It's our mental state. So we have a lot of mentally unstable people. A
Yeah,
lot
we
of
have a lot of mentally unstable people. That shouldn't be the art's fault. That should be the people's
no.
fault.
I know. Just let me finish. As
Going, okay.
get away from my drink. But we have a lot of mentally unwell people, and half this media that comes out like a torture porn comes from mentally unwell people. So, and you're gonna have like
That's actually not true. The majority of people who make this torture porn movies are actually completely sound-minded people.
on the outside, but you don't know what's going on deep within. People who make that shit, there's something fucked up in their head. That's not healthy shit to make. You can't convince me, and you never will be able to convince me it's healthy shit.
Do you know how movie making works? Do you know where they get the organs from? It's bloody animal organs. Okay, here's the thing. They use pig organs.
I'm listening.
They use pig, sheep, or organs, and how you actually make the movies, you actually become pretty detached. So when it's like someone's acting out a scene of like murdering someone absolutely disgustingly, well, the director already knows it's like pig guts and a mannequin and fucking props, and it's like
But still,
you're completely detached by it because like it's not real, and you know it's not real.
I know, but see, but if you're making that, there's something wrong with you. Like, I'm not like trying to say, if you are feeling the need to express that sort of stuff, you have some. Everybody has their own set of issues. Everybody is broken in some way or another. Nobody is like, everybody's at a different level. But if you are putting that shit out, you need to get your head checked. If I had, cause I've bumped a few people who drew some like really fucked up shit. Just like, no.
Let's put it another way. Do you know the animator for Invader Sim, Jonas Barquez?
I know that the show is getting ready to launch again.
Yeah. So the animator for Invader Sim, Jonas, also the author of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. So people said, "Oh, you need to get your head checked." He actually went to a doctor, had all the tests on him, came back and said, "I'm mentally healthy." Meaning that the whole thing of like, oh, you're mentally unhealthy if you think like that. No, it isn't. Like, Jonas is a perfect example. So many people complained about how he was so fucked in the head. He actually went to a doctor, test under the sun, and then came back and went, "I'm perfectly mentally healthy. I just have a bit of depression." And that's it. It was fucking amazing.
Well, see, but
The thing is like,
Invader Sim.
You can have a disturbing imagination and still be mentally healthy.
Yeah, but there still shows. I mean, you could be mentally healthy by doctor's hand, but there still shows that there's something broken within the person for them to be expressing that stuff. I mean, that's. I mean, we can move on to something else, but like, if you're like showing that stuff, even like, I'm not gonna say my art. A lot of my artwork is healthy. No, those are. I do a lot of vent pieces. Those aren't healthy, but those are a way for me to get stuff out. When you have people doing media like that, they are trying to get something out of their system. They are trying to bleed something, whether it's subconsciously or not. I'm not a counselor, medical professional, but oh dear God, that's not normal to have that sort of stuff. Oh well, hey, this is just for entertainment. No, there's something wrong with you. Whether you have anger issues and you're taking it out, or whatever the fuck happened to you growing up, I don't know. But that's them trying to get something out.
Only 20 years ago, people realized that, hey, maybe electrocuting gay people is a bad thing.
Where the hell did that come from?
So it was in the West, basically in the 90s to early 2000s.
Right.
It didn't become illegal to electrocute gay people in America and even in England until the 90s.
Right, but that was like, that
And
topic was out of nowhere.
here's the thing: is like people, we're doing better in society. It's just we have a lot more media on it. And the thing is that again, people can have violent imaginations, can even act out their violent imaginations and still be mentally healthy. Meanwhile,
I disagree.
over 20 years ago, like about 20 years ago, it was still perfectly legal to electrocute gay people. I think we've progressed a lot since then. Do
That's
you get what I mean?
I think I get what you mean. I mean, that's something a little bit different. Yes, we've progressed, we've come a long way with stuff. With the way that we deal with stuff, but even then, just because we have better ways of dealing with certain things doesn't make it any healthier. So, speaking of LGBT, we can actually transition into a different topic. I believe Ichabod gave me this topic. Yeah, it was from Ichabod. Okay, so this is, I've never seen this website before. This is from a website called planettransgender.com. Ohio lawmaker says transgender people are to blame for mass shooting. This is a clickbait title. I've gone through and read this freaking article. It is a clickbait title. So the post is now supposedly deleted. Ohio State Representative Candace Keller, Republican, wrote in a Facebook post that transgender people are to blame for the mass shootings. No, you're cherry picking what the fuck she said. Let's look at the actual post because I'm not reading what this fuckstick wrote because I did go through and read this earlier. So this is what she said. After every mass shooting, the liberals start the blame game. Why not place the blame where it belongs? Listen to everything that she's saying. We will break it down. Everything, don't just cherry pick and start screaming. The breakdown of the traditional family, thank you transgender homosexual marriage, and drag queen advocates, fatherlessness, a subject no one discusses or believes is relevant, the ignoring of violent video games, the relaxing of laws against criminals, open borders, the acceptance of recreational marijuana, failed school policies, hello parents who defend misbehaving students. There was actually a trend going on here in the U.S. This is legit in the U.S. to where it actually started to produce memes or whatnot. To where back then, if the student produced bad grades or whatnot, parents would go after the kid. Now, if the kid gets bad grades, parents go after the teacher. So that was actually a thing that was popping up a few years ago. Yeah.
They've always done that. It's just more parents are doing that now than before.
Yeah. Let's see. Disrespect to law enforcement. Thank you, Obama. Hatred of our veterans. Thank you, professional athletes who use our flag and the national anthem. The Dems Congress. Many members who are openly anti-Semitic. The culture which totally ignores the importance of God and the church until they elect a president. State official holders who have no interest whatsoever in learning about our Constitution and the Second Amendment, and snowflakes who can't accept a duly elected president. Did I forget anybody? The list is long, and the furry world continue. So, let me break this down, because this is actually a lot of the topics we've touched upon in this channel, if you've been around my channel long enough in my streams. The breakdown of traditional family, because like I said, the title is clickbait. It is, and it's garbage. I freaking hate it when people do this shit. So, when it comes to school shootings, because we've talked about this, the El Paso, Texas one? I believe I have the right one. The kid came from a boxer family or whatnot. Mom, dad, brother, sister. We don't know the dynamics of the family or what their relationships look like. And I actually just had a debate with two people. Dark Scythe, who did a complete 180 from when I used to know him, and then Effinger about socialism and how it's supposedly better for America, and we touch upon a little bit of the nuclear family. So let me pretty much reiterate what I said in that debate stream. Just because you have a nuclear family does not mean you have a healthy family. What I believe in is it's important to have a healthy nuclear family, healthy relationship between mom and dad, healthy relationship between mom and dad and the kids, vice versa. That is what's important. Just because you have mom, dad, I had an abusive mother growing up. So, the first 3 to 4 years of my life. So, and I've talked about that enough on this channel and things like that. So, but like the breakdown of the traditional family, you have broken relationships between mother father, which is important. Relationship between the parents and the kids is pretty much gone to hell, and so that's what she's referring to. So, but people want to pick up the transgender stuff, and go, oh well, she's blaming transgenders. No, she's fucking not. Read the entire fucking thing. So but yeah, fatherlessness. A lot of children either don't have relationships with their fathers, or they don't have their fathers. Period. Freaking all this other stuff is a big can of worms. You had Obama freaking pretty much back the BLM during his time in office. School policies, a lot of schools have been defunded or had their funding cut. So yeah, we need to fix our schools. Recreational marijuana. Okay, so that people have called that a gateway drug. Not really.
Marijuana's not a gateway drug. It's just a.
It has medical properties, THC, and a lot of people swear by that, and CBD oil, which is something completely different. I need to read up on the difference, because for like marijuana, we have like variations of like hemp, CBD oil, and there's like one more I forget. But marijuana is not what's screwing up our society, so that's a little bit overkill. Video games, we just covered that. What level of violence are you talking about? Are you talking about, like, for example, Link smacking a Juju, or are you talking about the graphic stuff like Mortal Kombat or even Call of Duty? Like, how, like, you guys have no boundaries, you guys have no limitations, nothing. You're just gonna want to go from one extreme to the other. Hatred of our veterans. Yeah, no, football players, Kaepernick, spoiled as fuck. In my opinion, he has no freaking say. I just over being depressed because he's not. And actually, from what I understand, because a lot of people are saying this about Kaepernick, is he was actually an orphan raised by a white family or whatnot. His parents, adoptive parents, were white, and so football, rich, and yeah, you have no reason to bitch. Shut up. But yeah, he started the flag nonsense, and as we talked about also on this channel, the flag itself, the material, like, expression of it, that's gonna go away. The fabric, phrase, tears, things like that, but the actual symbol is what's important. So, let's see, importance of God and the church, we have separation of church and state. There was, I will say, because we've talked about this on the channel too, the more they tossed out God, the more things kind of went to shit in the States. But again, you can't force religion, or you can't force God down everyone's throats. That's not how that works, and everybody has the right to choose what they're going to believe in. What else? The Constitution, yeah, a lot of people want to step on that, and they are trying to attack the Second Amendment, especially now with this recent shooting. So, stricter gun laws, it's so stupid. They always go for the stricter gun laws instead of focusing on the mental health, which in this case, a lot of people are overly medicated, and they don't want to deal with the actual issues that our youth is having. So, sorry, small tirade. But, oh dear God, this, yeah, clickbait article is shit. What was the one that you threw me? Was it the burrito one?
I sent you a couple. But yeah, I sent you a burrito one as well.
Okay, let's look at the burrito one, because I do have that pulled up. Because it's like some of the weirdest shit I've ever read. Let me touch base with the chat real quick. They always have attack the Second Amendment. Yeah, because, like, and this was what I said about, like, they've been trying to creep in socialism, and they've been targeting the youth with it, the Marxist stuff. And actually, if you go and research Marxist, the founder of socialism and communism, apparently he mooched off of other people and didn't take care of his own wife and children. So, came across that in an article that I pulled up during.
Karl Marx killed. I think actually killed one of his children with under a communist experiment.
Oh, well, shit. Wow. But yeah, read up on that. But yeah, socialism and communism disarm the people. They dismantle the family. Actually had like the guy that he used to be in my Discord server. His name was Darkside. I even had him on one of my streams. It like by the Hearth down memory lane. He was the main guy I was talking with when we were talking about the commentary community back then. He did a complete 180 because he used to like do like Nazi jokes and things like that. And so when I went into his stream the other day, him and FNGR were debating, and FNGR, I guess, was losing because as soon as I entered the chat, the dude decided to use me as a deflection and try to bring up the freaking clickbait article about the Texas University research. Freaking moron. Anyway, so Darkside, he's one of those people that, like, because I asked him in the chat, like, well, how do you feel about the nuclear family? Fuck the nuclear family. I'm tired of your Christian rhetoric. Okay, I don't know what the fuck's happened to the guy, but socialism dismantles the nuclear family, and then it disarms the public. Any communist or socialist-run state, they're not allowed to have firearms. The government protects you. Which we all know how that works out. Venezuela is up in arms right now in a rebellion. New Zealand, pretty much said, fuck you to the government with the arms. So, yeah. I'm so glad that we have smart people here in the U.S. But anyway, let's read this burrito, this drug-filled burrito. Let's see. This has happened in Colorado. A Colorado corrections officer was fired after he allegedly brought a burrito, not full of rice or beans, but stuffed with drugs, into a state prison facility. Trevor Martinu, 27, was arrested on July 2nd at the, forgive me if I mispronounce this, Buena Vista Correctional Facility in Buena Vista following a multi-agency investigation, the Department of Corrections confirmed to Fox News on Wednesday. An inmate at the facility told investigators in late May that an employee was smuggling illegal drugs into the facility, KDVR reported, citing an affidavit of probable cause. Martino allegedly told officials that he had drugs in his lunch bag. When they examined the bag, investigators reportedly found a burrito with a plastic bag sticking out of the end. Inside the burrito, officials allegedly found roughly 91 grams of meth, 26 grams of heroin, and 46 strips of Suboxone. And I actually looked that up. That is it's a heavy duty pain medication, and it's what narcotics get addicted on. So it's a heavy duty pain med. Didn't read up on what it's prescribed for, but yeah, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. In addition to 10 strips of, God, I didn't look to see what this was. Buprenorphine, Noxolon, marijuana wax, and 6 small thumb drives. I wonder what's on those. Martino allegedly admitted he was paid $1,000 to pick up the drugs. Authorities said they found 960 of that at his house. I recently hired a new inspector general and have asked her and her team with the responsibility to aggressively pursue all criminal matters that occur inside the prison system, no matter the source. Dean Williams, executive director of the Department of Corrections, said in a statement, RIG's office helps us ensure our eternal house is in order and that our facilities are kept safe by rooting out any alleged illegal activity. I'm very proud of the work our staff did to bring this case forward. Martino is charged with first-degree introduction of contraband and 3 charges of unlawful possession of a controlled substance. He's also charged with 1 count each of unlawful distribution of meth, heroin, and Suboxone. That's insane. So that means they have to start checking food. Like, I guess. Golly, man.
Meth is the poor man's drug.
But what is this one? Because, I've never heard of the Zuberone, and then, let's see, how do you say this one?
Buprenorphine, naloxone.
Naloxone.
Buprenorphine, naloxone.
That's going to take me a few tries. Consult a doctor. Various serious interactions can occur. Oh, it's a pain reliever. So he brought in 2 sets of heavy-duty painkillers. Well then. Let me touch base with the chat real quick. That's just like crazy, like you were that desperate to bring shit in. Flying Falcon, my father's narcissistic, is a narcissistic ice cube, and my mom treats all 3 of us like 2-year-olds. I can empathize. Oh, dear God. They have always attacked the second. Yeah. Let's see. We also have hundreds of channels. You have to fill it with something. So yeah, there's one more article we can wrap up with, and this one's actually kind of funny because this actually proves how stupid people are. This has to do with a Texas woman. I hope the judge tosses this out because I think this is also another one from Steam. Texas woman sues for $1 million after walking into a window at grocery store. Women thought window was an open doorway, lawsuit says. So because she wasn't using like her eyeballs and this is like the lady suing Starbucks for not telling her how hot the coffee is, even though it was just freshly brewed. Dear God. These are the people that need a fucking helmet. San Antonio, a Texas woman is suing for up to $1 million after she walked into a window that appeared to her as an open doorway.
About McDonald's coffee cup, they boiled it to the point where it became actually really dangerous. So it wasn't like she's put hot coffee on her. No, they stupid temperature to the point where it actually gave her scars.
Okay. I thought it was Starbucks, but I think could have been a different case or something similar. I don't know. But yeah, no, I don't drink Starbucks or McDonald's hot coffee because like the cup I got, granted this location was at a train station, but it tasted like the lid was melting. And it just
was.
I couldn't finish it. It's like I'm never getting their hot coffee again. Yuck.
It probably was, to be honest.
Maybe. Let's see. A window that appeared to her as an open doorway at a well-known grocery store, according to a lawsuit. And going by the logo, it's Kroger. Cassette.com sister location, click to Houston.com, reporting that the woman is suing Lagron Services, a Houston-based construction company that built the Kroger marketplace where the incident happened. She's suing the construction company? What the fuck? Oh my... Oh, I hope the judge tosses this out and, like, makes her pay for the court fees. Oh, please, dear God. Oh, this woman is stupid. In the lawsuit, the woman said she went to the Kroger on April 17th. As she was leaving, the woman walked toward what appeared to be an open doorway, but instead of a doorway, the woman walked directly into a clear floor-to-ceiling window. Well, if it doesn't have a doorknob on it, stupid. Oh, my God. Because even, like, the automatic doors will have a sign on it that say like steer clear or whatnot, or if it's a clear door, it'll have some sort of doorknob. It always has something on it, you fucking dumb broad. Oh my God. The woman claims she sustained serious injuries. Like, what'd you do? Like, go through the fucking glass? Like, really? What'd you do? Oh my... Okay, hold on. Let's see, this is the full report. We're gonna click on it. What the fuck? Man. Okay, so we were there. Okay, the woman said she was shopping at the Kroger Marketplace at 341 South Loop, 336 in Conroe on April 17th, according to the lawsuit. And I'm looking at the damn doors right here. They have frames. How the fuck did you run into the window? There is no, like... Okay, the only, like...
She's probably a Karen.
The only, like, doorway that matches her description is on the side of the fucking building, way out of the way. What in the hell?
She's probably a Karen. You know, the one of those talk to them. I want to talk to your manager.
Oh my God, yes.
That has the entitled kids and.
Yeah, the one that just like
and does the element. Yeah.
Oh my God.
MLMs.
As the woman was leaving the store, she walked toward it and what appeared to be an open door. Okay, like I said, this is the only thing that matches her description, and usually they stick the doors near the fucking checkout area. Oh my dude. This is the only thing that matches the clear floor-to-ceiling window. Like,
you know what the fun thing is so I know these types of people. These types of people make one little mistake and it's everybody's fault and everybody gets sued and
yeah.
I remember this one woman. I didn't know her at all, and she was with her kid. So she started having an argument with the staff or something, and I saw her kid running out into the road. So the kid's hand because it's a fucking busy road, and basically pull the kid to his mum and said, "Yeah, your kid was gonna run off to the road." Karen said, "I'm gonna sue you. You tried to kidnap my child." And like,
Freaking.
I'll just let your child be squished by a truck then. Fuck it.
Get a load of this shit. The lawsuit claims the woman sustained serious injuries. Yeah, if you went through the freaking glass, you moron. I wonder if she's blonde. No offense to any of my viewers who have blonde hair, but I wonder if she's blonde.
She's probably blonde.
The woman is asking, like, get a load of this shit. Like, I was reading this as you were talking. The woman is asking to be paid for past and future medical expenses, past and future physical pain and suffering, past and future physical impairment. What the fuck? Past.
Yeah, she's definitely a fucking Karen.
Past and future physical disfigurement and past and future mental anguish. What in the ever-living shit? Dude, I hope to God the judge tosses this out. It's like, if you can't use your fucking eyeballs and decipher what the fuck is a window and a doorknob, considering the doors have a metal fucking frame and doorknobs, and I bet you anything the checkout area is near this. Oh, let's see, there's a little standee, there's probably a trash can, a little lobby. Bruh. Like, what in the fuck? You're money grubbing. You are so fucking money grubbing.
Here's the thing. Karen, she doesn't think. She just does. Because nothing's her fault. Her fault.
I love this comment. Okay, I saw, like, this is Sal Gambino. I'm scrolling down to the comments on this article. I saw this happen once. The woman fell on her butt and left her lips on the glass. I had to look the other way so she couldn't see me giggling. A common practice for glass wall safety markings decal is to be applied in two locations. One between 32 inches and 40 inches above the finished door, and one between 55 inches and 63 inches above the finished door. That makes the glass visible for young and old, short people and tall people, and even pets. However, I haven't seen any state requirements for safety markings. But here's the thing. The only thing that matches her description is on the side of the fucking building. If you do not see people exiting right there, and if you can't use your eyeballs and not pay attention what the fuck you were doing, you deserve to get your face smashed in the glass. Oh my god.
Right, but I know these people. They will sue you for any little inconvenience. Like, I fucking got threatened to sue by a woman because I stopped her child getting squished by traffic. Like,
man, I would have told her to go fuck a cactus. Like, here's your kid, don't let him run on the road. Next time I'm calling the damn cops or CPS. Shut the fuck up.
I said, fine, next time I'll let him die.
Damn, okay, it's darker than what I would do, but there you go.
I was not having a good day that time.
Broad, any gray hairs. Oh, it's a word. I don't know, maybe she did have gray hairs. I don't know, from all the stress that's screaming at people for dumb shit she does. I don't know, maybe she did have gray hairs, Falcon. I don't know.
She doesn't have gray hairs. She bleached it.
Oh, well, that makes it even worse, because that, like, probably soaked into her fucking brain. What the hell, man?
Slash entitled. Yeah.
Hold on.
But I have a sibling who only do this. They're I had a sibling who would definitely take someone to court over the dumbest shit.
Yeah, it's... And here's the thing. People who go out of their way to sue, you either have a lot of money or you're underneath the delusion that you're about ready to get a lot of money. If you lose, you do realize that you have to pay a bunch of fees, including the attorneys, more than likely. Like, I don't ever want to be caught up in a court thing. My closest thing was unemployment benefits, and that's about it. And I really didn't have to pay for shit because the unemployment office handled that, and my employer went after my benefits, and I got all my money back because my employer at that time was fucking stupid.
You can sue someone in small claims, sort of thing, which is an affordable way of suing someone if it's within your budget. For instance, there's a girl who is suing Onision at the moment, and she's suing him in small claims.
What is that? Billy? Is that... Which girl is that? Because he has a lot of victims in his wake, and he's just a shitbag on him. Both him and his wife are shitbags.
It's just she's not really a victim. It's she made a video on Onision, and Onision did false DMCAs on her.
Oh.
And so she instead of just taking like a bitch, she said, "You know what? I'm gonna sue him, but I'm going to sue him in small claims." Which is an affordable way of suing someone. And like you can basically whenever your paycheck comes in, like every month you in a little bit every month, according to how long the judge says it's okay. All at once.
Yeah, go ahead. I actually had to private any video responses I made to Onision, because I only made like a few here and there, but I had to dig through my channel for them and private them because the little shit was going through and striking anybody and everybody who had responded to his videos and had his videos in their video or whatnot. And so, like, I don't know if he has an MCN, but his strikes were sticking. So it's just like, nope, fuck that. I don't care. These are old videos.
Again, you can sue Onision on small claims. And
I'm not gonna.
What scares him the most is basically threatening his money. If you threaten his money, he fucking cracks.
The little shit's already in trouble with the IRS and the freaking state of Washington for destroying a bunch of wetlands. I don't want to get I don't want anything to do with the little shit, court or otherwise. I don't care. They're old videos, but I didn't want my channel struck and possibly damaged for a while, so I privated the things. And oh, you did send me one more article.
Well, it might be old news, but it's still ongoing.
Oh yeah, no. I bet it's still ongoing because some people got tired of his shit.
I heard he bought even more wetlands.
That's what I heard too from Risembool.
Yeah, I tend to avoid Risembool. He's still doxed where Onision lived at his old house, and that was still kind of fucked.
No. From what I've never known Risembool to dox. Risembool got a hold of court documents.
No. He this was like a long time ago. So a few years ago, Onision lived in another house, and it was basically he said real name when at the time she didn't have her real name out in public, and he also exposed where Onision lived, and people thought, oh, this was a great heroic thing, but it's like, no, dude, you just basically doxed where a guy lived. And again, I don't like Onision. I'm not defending Onision. It's just you dox someone. Like, yeah, what he's doing now isn't doxing because, you know, this is public, but like back a few years ago he did actually dox where Onision lived, and that was
Yeah, see,
wasn't asked. That's
I know that Rebzion and Onision have bumped heads like for years. Joy got into a little bit of that, but I don't know the saga between them. Like I said, I only covered some stuff by Onision here and there because one had to do with Christianity. I think one had to do with his disgusting form, which I literally had the freaking Tacoma police station tell me to pretty much go fuck
I
myself.
unfortunately know quite a bit about Onision. With Repsion, I know quite a bit too. It's just, it's those things. It's like, yeah, Repsion is the better person, but then again, he did dox where Onision lived, and that's just fucked. No one's gonna convince me that Repsion's a good person after that. That's like, no. People are acting like Onision's the worst thing that's ever happened to the platform. Oh, he's the worst person ever. It's like, yeah, you can say what you want about Onision, but at least he never tried to film someone's death for a vegan vegan activism thing, or tried to, or almost killed a wolf dog because they put him on a vegan diet.
Wait, who filmed someone's death for vegan activism?
Vegan Gains.
Who's
Vegan
death?
Gains tried to. So Vegan Gains' grandfather heart attack and died. Vegan Gains uploaded a video, and I think you can find mirrors of this now, of him explaining why he was going to upload a video of his grandfather dying of a heart attack because he's a meat eater.
What a piece of shit.
His family said, oh, no, don't fucking do that. Don't you dare fucking do that. So he didn't do it, and he was explaining why he was disappointed. There was also another time when Vegan Gains had a wolf dog, and he fed the wolf dog a vegan diet. The wolf dog got extremely ill, started having diarrhea, dietary problems, anxiety issues, all that stuff, and they had to outsource adopt it. So they had to, basically contact the owner, and the owner had to contact the person, and the person had to take the dog back.
Who was that actress? Like, no, Vegan Gains is nuts. He actually did a response to Bearing, like, waving around a freaking handgun. It's like, you're fucking crackers, dude. But who was that Go ahead.
Vegan Gains is absolutely insane. He keeps constantly talking about how he wants to pummel a baby to death because he hates babies.
And this dude has a gun.
How he got himself sterilized.
Wait, what? Oh, good. Yeah.
He got himself a vasectomy for the good of the planet.
Yeah. Please stay the fuck out of the gene pool. Like, I'm not planning to like engross myself into it either. But fuck, man, you were crackers. Who was that actress or that Instagram girl that had that Finnick Fox and put it on a vegan diet as well and actually made the damn thing sick? Like, there's before pictures of her first getting it looking all healthy, and then after pictures of it looking like a damn skeleton. Who the fuck was that?
I'm not entirely sure. I'd like to say
Go ahead.
Freely Banana Girl, but I don't think she had a pet.
I don't. It was some Instagram person. It's always a fucking Instagram people.
Well, the thing is, it's like people say, "Oh, Nissan's the worst. Nissan's the worst." But in actuality, if you look at Vegan Gains and Freely the Banana Girl, they are so much worse. Oh my god! Here's the thing: Anision's an arsehole. He's
a creep.
He's just an arsehole. He's just a creep and an arsehole on the internet.
I even consider
and Freely the Banana Girl, they are actually dangerous. They are actually dangerous people, and apparently they get a lot less dangerous. Like they're they're whatever. But Onision, he's the real villain. It's like
Onision is a different type of dangerous because he had an influence, which thankfully YouTube. I will say in this case, I will agree that YouTube kind of stopped.
If you say pedophile, I'm going to be incredibly angry because there is no evidence to support it.
The forums made him quite pedophilic.
I looked at the forums and there was no.
And
this was like
the 13-year-old girls in their underwear with their verified ages on their profiles and him collecting these fucking pictures. Yeah, that screams like pedophile to me.
No, because the thing is that when Blair White's video came up, I still had. I used to use the forums as a teenager, so I just went on my old account, looked at the forums. As soon as Blair uploaded a video, any who were in their underwear were like fucking middle-aged mothers.
No.
There was barely anything.
Because he started to scrub the website. He had 13-year-olds.
10 minutes after Blair uploaded her video. Yeah, okay.
No, he started to scrub those up because there were others digging into it. I had an account on that forum because I was digging around. He had 13-year-olds, he had 14-year-olds, he had fucking 17-year-olds, and I was grabbing the profiles where they put up their fucking ages on the thing. So no, it wasn't middle-aged women. It was fucking minors. So yeah, no, that dude... But yeah, there's like different types of crazy on YouTube. I don't think Onision's the worst one. I don't think he was the worst one to begin with.
Not the worst one. He's never He's never advocated. He's never like tried to actually murder his dogs. Like he has dogs, but he actually feeds them fucking meat because he knows that meat. He knows that like dogs need meat in their diet. Fucking Freely the Banana Girl, she's straight up told her vegan diet. She doesn't do it properly. She does it absolutely stupidly. Like, oh, I'm gonna be on a raw diet, so no filtered water, no washed vegetables, shit like that. Yeah. A lot of teenage girls said, "Hey, is it weird that I'm not getting my period anymore?" And she went, "No, that's not weird at all."
That is weird. That's actually like quite alarming. Go to the doctor. Stat.
That's a sign of malnutrition, actually.
Yeah, because your body requires a certain weight to have your menstrual cycle every month. Yeah, that holy crap.
Freely also bullied young teenage girls into attempted suicide because they dare to eat dairy products.
Man,
she goes after YouTubers that are completely innocent. They're just doing like cooking or something, and she's just straight up harasses them for days to weeks on end.
See,
Freely's a horrible person, and so is Vegan Gains. And then people look at Onision and go, "Oh my god, Onision!" It's like, these people are far worse and far more dangerous.
There's different levels of dangerous on YouTube. Vegan Gains, like I was actually surprised he remained on YouTube after his video response to Barron. I forget which video it was, but he's sitting there like waving a gun, and he's doing this at the screen. The gun's not loaded. But he's sitting there clicking the trigger, like doing this at the screen as he's talking to Barry. And just like, why the fuck do you still have a YouTube channel? YouTube wants to censor all of us, but you're sitting here like implying that you want to shoot Barry because of his video toward you. What the fuck? You shouldn't be having a gun. Where the hell are you living? Who can I call? It's people like that don't need guns. It's people like that shouldn't fucking have them because they're mentally deranged. Vegan Gains is crackers and should not have a weapon.
He's Canadian. He's Canadian.
Oh. Well, that explains a lot.
Well, actually,
that's not yours.
He was Canadian. He moved to Europe for a while. Back to Canada. And funny thing is, the reason why he moved back to Canada was because when he went to Western Europe about veganism, he didn't realize that in Europe we treat our animals extremely well. Like, they get better lives than humans.
Yeah.
Taste better because we know our meat tastes better if we do it, and we have very strict animal laws.
Yeah.
So he was horrified to learn that in Europe we actually treat our animals really fucking well, to the point where that like veganism is affordable here. That it's a complete option. That we treat it kind of like just a dietary thing. He was horrified to find out that like we're very accepting of vegans, and we're like, yeah, we understand people have dietary needs. So what?
Yeah.
By that, so he went back to Canada, hoping that people, hoping that his message would still stick.
Yeah. Notice it's and I'm not saying hashtag not all, and we'll wrap it up here, but notice it's the people who screech about like veganism and all that shit, they're like the most crazy or like most unhinged. Have you noticed that? Like they just
problem is veganism is supposed to be a diet for people who are deadly allergic to animal products.
See, that works, but you have people who shouldn't be on the vegan diet and they become fucking mentally unhinged and crazy people because their brains aren't getting enough B12.
Well, it's actually a multitude of things, but
yeah.
The thing about vegan diet is they're very controlled. Like people who are on a vegan diet involuntarily, they're usually highly controlled by doctors, and they usually have to take they usually have to like regulate their food and all that stuff, and they can live a perfectly normal life with a vegan diet. It's just they have to really regulate their food. They have to really, properly. If they don't do that, then they get put on pills. But like you can maintain all your levels if you do it right.
Yeah.
This is that trend vegans,
they don't.
They don't do it properly, so therefore they get malnourished. They don't think properly because they're not doing it properly. Other people who are involuntary don't tend to lose their minds because they're going to the doctors, taking the doctor's advice, and actually doing it properly. So they're getting all their nutrients because it's highly concentrated.
Yeah, and medicines and things like that. But like you said, a lot of it vegans don't do it. The vegans I've come across both in video and in real life are just crackers in one way or the other.
The problem is with these trans vegans, they don't seem to understand that people have dietary restrictions. For instance, I can't go on a vegan diet. I physically can't go on a vegan diet, my body won't allow it. And whenever I explain it to them, they just say, oh, well, why don't you just not eat meat? And it's like, because my body will not allow it.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, you don't eat red meat? And it's like, yes, but I still eat white meat. I still need white meat. I still need dairy products because my body won't allow a vegan diet. I've been on a vegan diet. It doesn't work for me. It works for some people, it doesn't work for others.
Go ahead.
I explained all the problems I had and everything, and their reasoning is, well, if you're allergic to mushrooms, then why don't you just be on vegetables and grains?
Because your body's going to get malnourished. It needs protein from somewhere. It needs
minerals. You can get protein from certain vegetables, but the problem is those vegetables that has a shit ton of protein in it, I can't eat.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, and see, that's what they don't understand. Like, they call, like, I've had people on YouTube videos call me murderers. I ran into one vegan on YouTube, and it's still on my channel, where at the end of the video, he's talking about how he's taking crack and heroin. Like, I'm not freaking bullshitting, and like, I didn't watch, when I went to go do a video on this, a video response, there's 2 video responses, and one, I didn't watch the second video all the way through, and then when I heard like that crack thing, literally as the recording, because I try to do my videos raw, and it's, God, I haven't done a script in forever, I literally stopped. I'm like, well, what the fuck did he just say? And I go back, and I'm just going like, what in the fuck? Because he was skinny, he was chiseled, and he was an angry little shit, and just like, golly, man, you need like a Snickers or something.
Yeah, the thing is in the vegan community at the moment, there's where reasonable vegans who just, do it dietary, understand that it's their thing and only their thing, that there's, other diets out there. So there's a reptile and snake owners, right? So there's this snake owner, and he feeds his snake meat because the snake is a carnivore.
Right.
And he was explaining, well, it's cruel if I just don't make meat because the snake is a carnivore. He's not an omnivore or a herbivore. He's a carnivore. He needs meat.
Mm-hmm.
And the vegan communities are saying, well, you're not a real vegan because you're feeding your snake meat. You're feeding it like mice and all that stuff. And it's like, says, well, like, I would just be starving and abusing my animal if I didn't feed anything else, because he's not an omnivore. He's a carnivore.
Yeah, and they're just. I'm sorry, animals aren't vegans.
If you get a herbivore fat animal, then yeah, but if you get a herbivore animal reliant on milk, then yeah, you can get vegan animals, but like you can't. It's the case of at the moment there's a moral debate of whether you should feed animals meat or not, and a lot of vegans are going like, no, if they're carnivore or omnivore, they need to eat meat. Like, they're not human, and
yeah, But anyway, let's wrap it up here because I do got work in the morning. But yeah, it was a good conversation. I know I got a little bit tense with the Onision and stuff. Okay, Bubbas, off my lap. Thank you. Good food. I had a small fluffy cat in my lap for a few minutes. But yeah, there's a lot of craziness going on, and people want to try to enforce what's moral onto other people. Like with the video game stuff, the freaking God, it's like 90s all over again. I even made a joke because Magaga Morskar commented on it, and like there was religious groups paying people to snap their game disc in half. I'm like, that you're not gonna do jack shit. You're giving away free money because you're gonna go out and probably buy 2 copies of the game or something worse than what you are snapping in your hands. You guys are fucking stupid. Because I even told my dad that. I was laughing. I'm like, these guys are retarded. And he goes, well, they're doing what they think is best. And he didn't agree with it, but he just made a comment. I'm like, no, they're fucking stupid. They're stupid. Snapping a game disc in half does not stop the production of the game, nor does it change the contents of the game. You just out of touch. Religious people, come out of your fucking white boxes. And I say that as someone who grew up Christian. But it just, there is no balance. There is, oh, well, let's nix this because it's going to solve the issue, even though we're just dealing with the symptoms and not the root cause. Root cause is, as Falcon said in the description, breakdown of the community. We have a lot of mentally unstable people. We're not willing to address it. Our schools suck. Communities have been left to die. I mean, we don't even know the true family dynamic of the El Paso, Texas shooter, which I think was it the Boxer family, or was that a different shooting? But you get my point. And as I told Darkside in the stream the other day, just because you have a nuclear family does not mean it's good. A healthy nuclear family is what counts. Not just because you have mom and dad, but when there's relationships, when there's actual discipline, and off of that, when you have more and more healthy nuclear families, yeah, you're going to have struggles, you're going to have fights and things like that, but more and more healthy nuclear families is what builds a proper community. So, and that's just what it is. We need establishment of the nuclear family again. And that's nothing to gay families or anything like that, but children need both a mother and a father. This has been proven time and time again. It's not going to change. Biology's not going to side with you because you're fifis. It's not going to happen. Children need both. Go ahead.
Hang on, what about orphans?
Huh?
Orphans. And, like, being, like... There's a lot of problems with nuclear families. Like, what about orphans? What about, like, if you just have a foster mother? Like, what?
Well, I'm not shitting on single parents. Single parents have, like, the most hardest jobs in the world because they have the work of two parents. They have the work of both mother and father. Like, if a daughter and your father, like, how do I show her how to be a proper woman? But
it's not even just a single mother thing. Like, I knew a kid who was basically raised by the community I lived in. Like, I knew a kid who was raised by a community she lived in. Like, she just got like moved around. Like, she just got moved around, and she was just basically being raised by the community at that point. Like, she didn't have any actual proper parents, and it's like, well, here's the thing: these sound nice, but they don't actually work. They never ever really work, and when the ones that do work are usually the ones that are really who are wealthy, like a wealthy trust fund as soon as they were born, sort of thing.
But that's not...
The only people who can actually have a nuclear family are people who probably never really seen struggles in their life.
But no, see, that's bullshit. Because I've known nuclear families that have struggled, nearly came apart, but are still together, and their children are... And they're not rich families either. No, that's bullshit. You don't have to be well off for a nuclear family to work. What you do need is you need to actually be real, address the problems, address the issues inside the house, open communication, and understanding where everybody's at, but still have a level of discipline and boundaries. That's how you get a nuclear family to work.
That sounds nice. That sounds nice, but you got to understand that most families don't do that. Like it sounds like a nice idea, but then you realize people are flawed and aren't as simple as that, and people want more than just be the stay-at-home wife.
No,
working husband.
Hold on. You're putting stereotypes to nuclear families. I'm not saying the woman has to be at home. No. I'm not saying the woman has to be a stay-at-home mom. Not saying the dad has to be a stay-at-home dad. When I say nuclear family, whether that both parents are working or not is beside the point. What I mean by it is when there's a healthy relationship between mom and dad, when there's a healthy relationship between mom, dad, and kids, and it goes from there. A healthy nuclear family is going to have struggles. It's going to have fights because people are growing. People are exploring their world. Mom and dad is like, oh my god, my kids are finding all these new stuff, and now there's going to be tension. I'm not saying a nuclear family is flawless. I don't know who the fuck is passing that around, but that's also bullshit. But yeah, no, a lot of families aren't nuclear. Do those make those families any less? Hell no. They need even more support because there's foundational pieces like single parents. As I said, they have to do the work of two parents. Whether it be a mother with two sons, a mother with three daughters, a father with a mix of children. So, I mean, God, their workload quadruple, because you have possibly two jobs and then work of two parents. So, no, I'm not saying any family is less because they're not nuclear. I'm just saying that the actual family dynamic that produces healthy children or whatnot, and children that know how to cope with society and things like that. That's what I'm saying. Oh, and I think your internet.
Okay, sure. I'm going to bed. See ya.
Okay. Well, you have a good night. But yeah, sorry this went over a little bit. I'm going to, as you notice, we are now streaming on Mondays, guys. Fridays, unfortunately, do not work out anymore because my schedule. So I'm going to try to test it on Mondays. Saturday is not really an option because the weekends. But anyway, we'll play with it and see how it works. Tell me what you guys think about the Monday schedule. And we'll go from there. With that being said, you guys have a wonderful night. And Ichabod was away, so he's not able to join us tonight. So